Welcome back guys to another airdrops video, and today we got another perpetual exchange. As you know, in this channel we're farming perpetual exchanges, and today I think I have found an amazing opportunity. So today we will be talking about the extended perpetual exchange. What I like about this is that we know exactly when they will tokenize, we know exactly the numbers of how much each point we earn on this exchange will be worth, so we can adjust our strategy. If it starts to get diluted, we can stop our farming, but right now it's super underfarmed, it has low fees and a decent volume. It's one of the biggest perpetuals out there that don't have a token, and while everyone is farming ASTER, that is right now pretty unprofitable, we're going to be rotating over to this perpetual and farming it before new volume comes out and pumps its quality and its price. Greatest thing ever. Every single week they distribute points, and as time progresses, making points becomes harder. So let's get started with extended. I will leave the link for it down below in the description. You can join and create an account through it. The only thing you need is an EVM wallet like Ruby wallet, MetaMask, and then after you connect your wallet, you want to click on your wallet and click the deposit button. You can deposit from Arbitrum, from Base, from BNB, Avalanche, Polygon, even Ethereum, and you deposit USDC. It's very simple to do. The arrival happens automatically. I think it's also powered by Hyperlane, so you get a Hyperlane transaction as well in it, and it's very simple to farm. Before I begin, you gotta deposit about $50 to $100 to get started. I will show you the exact strategy I use to farm this pretty easily. First of all, for people that want passive earnings and passive points, they've got this vault with 13% APR on the past 30 days. So this is a good exposure if you want to farm points passively. I would suggest it only to people that have very big capital and they are very risk averse. You can earn some points by passively providing liquidity here. So I currently have 34 points, and to get these points I did about, about 40,000 in volume. I want to say that this is not the exact number because pretty much I have opened some positions here which are worth a little bit of dollars, nothing insane. So this perpetual you mostly farm by volume and you want to rack up as much as possible. So the very important thing is that if you want to get into bigger leagues, you want to also deposit liquidity, even if you only trade. So this is very nice to see that they have this gamified version of rankings and potentially getting into the higher ranks, meaning depositing and making a lot of points, could be very profitable. So I have got 34 X points for just about 40,000 in volume. Using my delta neutral strategy, this is probably about $20 to $30 at most in fees and no loss from trading because we do delta neutral, which is a strategy that I will show to you in just a bit. And we already have an estimate of how much the points are going to be worth. So we got various scenarios of the conservative FDV, fully diluted valuation being at 1 billion and them airdropping 30% of the supply, which is confirmed, okay? And also we have dilution scenarios for each week because they distribute points per week, and we can see exactly how much we will be earning across this campaign. So they will tokenize probably between December and February, and you know, it's going to be in 2, 3, maybe 4 months from now, but we can see all of the scenarios here. I'm going to focus mainly on the conservative scenario because I want to be as conservative as possible with any airdrop I farm. Pick always the worst case scenario when you do airdrops. But I think a conservative scenario where each point is worth $7 to $6 is the most, well-known scenario. So I got 34 points from trading right now, which should be about $180 to $200 in the worst case scenario, which means extended having a 1 billion fully diluted valuation. Right now the volume on extended is about 500 million per day, which is 2 times bigger than Avantis. And Avantis right now has a fully diluted valuation, guys, of, let me show you exactly, let's see exactly how much Avantis has. Avantis has 1.3 billion FDV right now, which means that this 1 billion scenario is pretty easy to get. Extended has nearly double the volume of Avantis, especially over a long period of time. They have higher TVL, and they also have lower fees, that is 0% for limit orders and 0.025% for market orders. So this is very important because it allows us to farm it with very, very low fees. They have one of the lowest fees across most perpetual exchanges. And it's very easy to deposit. You can also deposit on their vault, and you can trade using the delta neutral strategy, which minimizes your costs. So a lot of people ask me, okay, you've shown us the opportunity. You've proved to us why this is valuable and why we should farm it. Okay, let's see this delta neutral strategy. So for the delta neutral strategy, you have to understand, first of all, its core principle. You farm two exchanges at once. So you need extended and another perpetual exchange. I've already made multiple videos about most perpetual opportunities out there. The first one that I would highly suggest at this point is Pacifica. If you are a Solana user, you must be farming Pacifica. I will leave the link for Pacifica down below, and you can find it also in the description on the Airdrop Excel guide. If you are on BNB, Apex seems like a great opportunity. If you also want something similar to Extended, which builds on Starknet, but you don't have to interact with Starknet, I would go with Paradex. But across all of these, in terms of timing, I think the best one to farm right now is EdgeX. For EdgeX, I would highly suggest at least doing $150,000 in volume every single day. Less than that, I don't think you should do it because you will not be earning points. So that's the first thing you got to understand about EdgeX. It's about pushing a lot of volume. So it might be for you, it might not be for you. I'm just trying to be as transparent as possible. If you want something that requires less volume, I would go with either Avantis, Apex, or Paradex. All of the links for these will be on the link in the description that says Airdrop Excel Guide on the Perpetual Dex tab. In general, you can find all of the dexes on all of the perpetuals I farm here. So let's say that we go with Pacifica, just to show you how you can use the delta neutral strategy to farm two airdrops at once by minimizing your risk and costs. So it's very, very simple. I'm already part of my team. I don't need to push my referral code. So the idea is simple. You open up the two perpetuals, Extended, let's say, and Pacifica. It doesn't matter what the second is, but if you farm Extended, you want to push trades on Extended. So let's say that we pick, I don't know, let's say that we pick Bitcoin. We set our leverage to 50x and we put 50% of our capital on a long position. We click Advanced, this is very important, and on ROI, we set 20%. Or maybe 40, 50, doesn't really matter. I would go with a small range so I can push more volume. The idea of setting the ROI here is that you push positions, you put positions where the system will automatically close your trade when it fluctuates plus or minus 20%. We click confirm and we have here the buy button enabled. At the same time, we go into Pacifica, we set the exact same leverage. We set 50% of our capital. Now this is important. You got to understand that your capital between the platforms need to be exactly the same. So if you've got $100 on Pacifica and Extended, this is the way to do it. If, for example, on Pacifica you got $100 and you put a 50% position, but on Extended you have only $50 and you put a 50% position, your positions will be 2 times smaller on Extended. We don't want it. So if that happens to you, put 25%. Very, very simple. You can even adjust the sliders on these perpetuals. You set the exact same take profit and stop loss ranges, but you push a short position. You do the inverse position of what you do on Extended. And what this will do is when you click these buttons nearly simultaneously, so you click buy and then you click sell here. I'm not going to do it because I already have these positions open. What happens is that you put 2 trades that are exactly the opposite and they will close the exact same time, one at a profit and one at a loss. So we put 50% of our capital on each perpetual by having the same deposit, and then we do the inverse. On the perpetual that you put a short position, meaning you bet that the price will go down, you go on a second pair like Ethereum USD and you put all of the other capital, the other 50%, in a long position. So usually what happens is that you lose one position and you win the other. So your capital remains the same, excluding the fees. Your fees will be given to you as points per week on Pacifica, on Extended, on Paradex, on every perpetual. So that's important to understand. This is how you reduce your rebalancing and you keep the value of each account pretty much the same across all of your airdrop farming, adventures. So it's pretty easy to farm it. It's another time that I show you delta neutral strategy. I really don't know for how long I will be showing you this strategy. Literally, I've shown it in every video. But this is how you farm Extended. There is clear incentive right now to farm it because we can see exactly how much points are worth. I've tested it already for you this week. I've shown you $40,000 in volume equate to about $200 in the conservative scenario. We are not even talking about the base scenario of having a 4 billion fully diluted valuation, which could happen. So the price could be 2 times bigger, maybe 3 times, maybe even 4 times. These are the most, reasonable scenarios. And you can already see how this is very, very profitable. And you spend very low on fees, one of the lowest rates in the market, while getting very great returns on your points because this is severely underfarmed. Okay, guys. And as we've seen already from their point system, we want to make sure that we deposit on vaults, keep some money here to provide liquidity to the protocol. Their TVL is low, so there's not really a lot of competition. A lot of people don't deposit passive income into these protocols. And also their perpetual, campaign has started like 4 months ago where they're not that big. So it's not diluted at all. Their volume is quite sustainably growing slowly. It's not diluted. And this is how you can benefit from it just because you are very, very early. Everyone is pushing volume on us. They're not looking at anything else. And we take this competitive advantage to farm cheaply early points while we maximize our returns. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.